television because they said we were too young to try out for the team. Because otherwise, Billy Merle and Jimmy Huga and I would have won gold medals. But we followed in the tracks of Tom Corcoran and you know, the Olympians that were here in 1960. And it was such an important part of my life. And I think the life of Olympic skiers at that time, it really set the precedent. Tom Corcoran almost became the first American man to win a medal in Olympic history.
And you know who did it?
It was such an important time in our sport because Americans at that time were following the women in U.S. skiing, and the U.S. women were the best in the world. Don't hurt your hands applauding. But the thing is that I grew up watching, not watching, but hearing stories and hearing about Gretchen Fraser winning the first gold medal in the Olympics. Then Andrea Meade Lawrence. I'm from Vermont. She was from down the road. She was a hero of mine because she won 2 gold medals in the 52 Olympics. One of them, when she came down the slalom, fell, climbed up, went through the gate, and still won the gold medal. And you know, David, probably, it's one of the great stories in Olympic history about how she dominated the sport so much. But then in 1960, for Tom Corcoran to almost beat the Europeans, that was a psychological breakthrough for me and Jimmy and Billy Merle, being 16 years old at the time, and having Buddy Warner be the best skier in the world, but breaking his leg 3 weeks before the Olympics because of this binding right here called the bear trap binding. And that's one of the few pictures I've seen of bear trap binding. Everybody's heard of bear trap bindings. Very few people have actually seen what they're like. The release factor in the bear trap binding, as Chuck Ferry's knows, is when the screws pulled out of the ski. Ouch. In any case, the 1960 Olympics were such an important part of the history of our sport in America, and especially the history of Billy Merle and I and Jimmy Huga. That was just a huge influence. Oh, no, some of us hate to see it.
That's not a bear trap.
That's a safety binding.
That's a safety binding.
That's a safety
That's
binding.
the first safety.
But that's how I broke my leg.
That's
I
all they
had
had.
head skis. The screws did not pull out of the bindings of the head skis. But anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for putting together this story, because it is such a great story. It's such an important part of our sport. And this part, I haven't even seen the next room, but the miners' history of racing in the 1850s and 60s at 80 or 90 miles an hour and getting prize money of $1,000 for winning a race in the 1860s and 70s. That was just an amazing part of our sport also. I just want to thank you for telling the story. Bravo.
So what I'd like to do for a photograph, Sarah is going to take the photograph